Now is not the time when you're not seeing your babe to be doing keyboard warrior, okay? Number 2, creative date night. The foundations you set prior to lockdown is what will actually carry you through lockdown. People say things like, you can't teach people to love you. Yes, you can. You communicate your boundaries, your wants, and your needs as time goes on. So today's video is all about how to keep things spicy in your relationship. Now, Corona has forced everybody into long distance relationships, whether even your babe lives 20 minutes away from you. We're not permitted to leave our houses except for essential things. Now, how do you keep the fire burning, especially for those of us that our love language is quality time? Because when they announced the lockdown, I was like, okay, it'll be over in 7 days. We'll be fine. We'll be okay. And then 7 days came and then they said, no, you guys are messing about. You're taking the pee. We're going to enforce this lockdown even more. 7 days turned into 3 weeks. 3 weeks has now turned into 6 weeks. What's going to happen to those of us that we are not married yet, we don't live with our partners? How do we keep the fire burning? Before we go into this video, guys, make sure you click that like button. It helps with the engagement. It helps me know as well that you like these kind of videos. And don't forget to leave a comment about any part of the things that I speak about. So I came up with 5 ways that you can keep the fire burning, keep the spice up in your relationship, okay? Number 1, be intentional about communicating. Lockdown, outside of lockdown, communication is key. Communication is king, and it's what sustains relationships. Without communication, you never know what's going on in the other person's head. You never know whether their needs are being met. You just don't know. You're just not connecting. Communication is a form of intimacy, and it shouldn't be neglected, especially in a season where you're not seeing your partner. Like I said, quality time. I like to see my person. I like to see my significant other. So in this season, communication has become so paramount in terms of the extra phone calls, the FaceTimes, the Zoom calls, whatever it may be. Communication is really, really key. And of course, you guys can use these tips with like your friends as well. You might not be in like a romantic relationship, but you might be in platonic relationship. You might be in church relationships, and you kind of want to keep the fire burning. You want to keep that closeness. You don't want all of this to happen and then all your favorite people, you can't connect with them anymore after we are released from prison. So make sure that you are communicating. There's so many apps that you can use. Your phone is there, social media, Zoom, Skype. There's no excuse. There's so much that you can use, and you can put time, because everyone's different. Some people like to talk to people at the start of their day. Some people like to text throughout. I'm like a mix of both. So yeah, I'd say do what works for you and your partner or your friends. Okay, number 2, creative date nights. And this is more for romantic relationships. For platonic relationships, make sure that you are doing, you normally go out with your friends, outings. I know that Bello used to say on What's Trending that her and her friends, at least once a month, they would pick somewhere and go out. You can still do that. Loads of people are having things like Zoom parties. I actually had one last night, more of a Bible study. And 2 nights ago, actually, my friend Fian, who lives in America, we celebrated her birthday. We did a Zoom party for her at midnight their time, but 5 a.m. my time, and it was really nice. It's like we've been friends for a long time, and she's been living in America for a long time, but I think it's amazing how Corona makes you really creative about, okay, because you're now not seeing the people that are close to you, it makes you realize how you can still connect and communicate with people that are even further away, because now everyone's on the same playing field of I'm not seeing you every day. So that was really lovely. I've seen loads of different creative Zoom party styles. There was one where they were sending the same cake around through, not literally sending the same cake, but they all had the same one and made it look like they were passing it around, and his girlfriend on the other side, the birthday boy, brought him his own. So that was really lovely to see. It's amazing how humanity is coming together in such a time like this. So creative date nights, you can do food to each other's houses, you can do cooking via FaceTime, and do movie night, Netflix party, or if you want to watch something on YouTube together, click play at the same time. Just make sure that you're still, it's about the quality time more than the activity or the fact that you can't see each other. Of course, seeing each other would be amazing, but make sure that you're utilizing that time well. Number 3, send thoughtful gifts to one another. Now, for example, with myself, I know my significant other loves my cooking. So the other day I sent him some fried rice via an Uber. Of course, made everything nice and clean. And that's my favorite dish to make for him. So I sent that via an Uber and he got it. And of course, he was really ecstatic. There's been other things that I've sent him as well, because I know that men like things that, I think some women as well, me personally, I like things that I need. But women also like sentimental gifts, so flowers, things that we can't really use. But I do like the flowers, but I also like thoughtful gifts. It's also thoughtful gifts in this season. Maybe your partner must have said to you on the phone something like, oh, I really want to start a YouTube channel, but I don't have any light. Go on Amazon, find a ring light for your partner, send it to their house. So long as they clean it thoroughly when it gets to their house, it will be okay. You're not putting them in any danger by sending them that, so long as you're both taking precautions. Also things like sending food. If they're a foodie, there's loads of dessert parlors still open. There's some restaurants, I think Nando's is even back now, McDonald's, Uber Eats. There's so much that you can do to just send something to somebody's house without you having to go there physically. If you drive now, it's a different case. If you drive, you can of course do like social distancing dates or whatever it may be, and you can deliver it yourself, or making sure that you're still, you know, keeping safe. So we talked about sending gifts, but also if you're like maybe further than somewhere where a gift can reach, there's so many different ways of sending money. So I would advise sending money as well via different apps. We've got PayPal, we've got Monzo. There's also this amazing new app that you can use if you're doing things more internationally called the Sendwave app. And you can send money to people in 5 different nations in Africa, including Kenya, Nigeria, and Ghana. And the money gets there instantly. There's no fees, no commission, no agent fees like usually when you go to the shop. There's always an agency fee or commission. But this one, no fees, no charge. And actually, I have a code for you guys that you can use. It's Mochunkstv. It's not case sensitive. Pop that in. You can send as little as £1 and you get £5 extra credit by using my code. So you can just send money to somebody, even beyond, because we're talking about platonic relationships as well, even beyond your romantic relationships. You may not have an international bae, but you might have friends and family that you want to send money to. So you can send that to them via the Sendwave app. You can download it on your phone quite easily, and the process is so seamless. Like, I'll show you how I tried it, guys. 5 minutes instantly. I did a test. I sent £1. I got my extra £5 and it sent the money straight. Number 5, I would say be extra patient with one another in this season. Now is not the time when you're not seeing your bae to be doing keyboard warrior, okay? If they do something to offend you, make excuse for them, okay? Try and make allowances for slip-ups and annoying moments and annoying phrases. It's the frustration. Remember, when you don't see someone, sometimes frustration comes out as anger. And it's not that you're angry at them, you're angry at the situation. You're angry at the fact that you haven't been able to see them at liberty, or you haven't been able to see them at your beck and call, and when you want to see them, you're out. It's kind of like this situation is out of your hands, it's out of your control. So sometimes those frustrations come out in like venomous words and things that we regret when we say. So just make extra. If before you were gracious in your relationships cannot function without forgiveness, grace, mercy anyway. But if you had that before, expand it even more. And I think one thing that's important to say about all these 5 tips as well, is that the foundations you set prior to lockdown is what will actually carry you through lockdown. I think couples that were doing these things before, communicating, date night, sending gifts, sending money, being patient with one another, they're going to find it easier to implement these 5 things. However, it's never too late. If you love one another, you want to make it through to the other end, have the conversation, try and see how you can start implementing these 5 things. And people say things like, you can't teach people to love you. Yes, you can. You communicate your boundaries, your wants and your needs as time goes on. I used to do this thing where before I would get into a relationship with anybody, I would list out everything like a soldier. But I found sometimes Some boundaries are important to communicate very early on, but I find sometimes as well a really cool way to communicate your needs, wants, and your boundaries is sometimes allow them to treat you how they want to, and then if there's something you're not happy with, violates your boundaries, it's not meeting your wants and your needs, so you say, okay, I'd rather have it this way, see how they react and proceed from there. So it's important for you to have these conversations about, okay, these 5 things, can we do them? What do you think? And trust me, your relationship about to get spicy, B. You're about to have fun, and hopefully as well, you carry these things on post-lockdown. And that's all I really had for you guys today. Make sure that if you liked it, do share it with your friends, and also subscribe to this channel for more. Until next time, guys, peace and love, peace and chance.